At this point, we got to give it up to Dave Chappelle. He's the bravest man in entertainment by far. He's the bravest, bruh. Like, Dave Chappelle, as a comedian, has done a great job at tackling each and every issue that's relevant at the time without mincing his words. Like, when the trans issue was at the forefront of America, Dave Chappelle was brave enough to make jokes about trans people.
I am not saying that to say that trans women aren't women. I am just saying that those that they got, you know what I mean? I'm not saying it's not pussy, but that's like beyond impossible pussy. You know what I mean? It tastes like but that's not quite what it is it? It's not blood, that's beet juice.
Because of those jokes, some Netflix employees walked out claiming that Netflix is profiting from hate speech. There was an entire mass protest for Netflix to take down the special and terminate their relationship with Dave Chappelle.
Support from transgender rights advocates, some of whom accused Netflix of profiting from hate speech.
We need to say it's not okay. This hate conversation was not their intention. We understand that jokes are jokes, things are things, but at the end of the day, if it's promoting hate and it's promoting discrimination, you are directly a cause of it if you're allowing it to happen and you're not doing anything about it. And that goes for anyone in this country, specifically people of power in the entertainment industry.
Having initially defended Dave Chappelle and the show's popularity, the streaming behemoth has since softened its stance in the face of a swathe of public criticism. In a statement,
but Netflix said, we're not doing that. Dave is good. All right, now, Dave Chappelle is so brave that outside of the trans stuff, he moved on and even tackled another group that most black folks won't ever touch.
It made me think of an idea for a movie. It sounds dumb, but hear me out. In my movie idea, we find out that these aliens are originally from Earth. That they're from an ancient civilization that achieved interstellar travel and left the Earth thousands of years ago. Some other planet they go to and things go terrible for them in the other planet. So they come back to Earth and decide that they want to claim the Earth for their very own. It's a pretty good plot line, huh? I call it Space Jews.
I was kind of shocked that comments like these about Jewish people went under the radar last year.
I learned something. This is a wild story. I learned this past Juneteenth of a story that's true, and there was a black man who was in South Carolina during slavery who somehow got granted his freedom by his so-called master. And when his master granted him the freedom, he also gave him a plot of land. Now, it turns out this brother was brilliant. He had a good eye, a good knack for farming. And he farmed this plot of land very successfully and made a lot of money. And this is where the story gets crazy. When he got all that money, this nigga bought some slaves. Have you ever heard this before? This is a true story. Not only was he a slave owner, he became a slave breeder and employed tactics that were so cruel, even white slave owners were like, yo, my man. He was a wild dude, but he did it just because that's what successful people did at the time, and he just wanted to be down. What a fucking tragedy. How can a person that went through slavery perpetrate the same evil on a person that looks just like him? It's mind-blowing. And, shockingly, they're making a movie about him. Ironically, it's called Space Jews.
But like I said, comments like that last year went under the radar. The ADL weren't calling for him to be canceled like they are today. And you're probably asking yourself, what did Dave Chappelle do today that's any much different than what he said last year about the Jews? So we all know the Israel and Palestine conflict that's currently going on right now is a hot button issue. Everybody is talking about it. So Dave Chappelle attempted to tackle the issue last night at his show in Boston. Now, while he was speaking about the issue, he condemned Hamas, but he also said, listen, I don't think that poor innocent people should get their lights cut off and their food taken away. And I damn sure don't think that students should lose scholarships and jobs for speaking up for what they believe in.
Reporter for the Wall Street Journal, Sabrina Siddiqui, who did not attend the show herself, summarized several accounts of that night. On Saturday, Siddiqui tweeted, "Here's how it went down." Per attendees, Chappelle condemned the October 7th Hamas attacks, but said it was wrong for the students to lose job offers over their support for Palestine.
Now, apparently when he said this, people who were in the audience who were pro-Palestine, they lost their mind and started heckling Dave Chappelle.
This prompted an audience member to shout, "Shut the F up, Dave." This is what triggered more of a reaction from Chappelle. According to attendees, he said the Hamas attacks were not an excuse to cut off water, electricity, etc., or commit war crimes.
If you're an objective person with no real stake in the fight and you hear Dave Chappelle say, Hamas bad, Hamas bad, Hamas bad, but that don't excuse Israel war crimes, like, you won't have an issue with it. Like, nobody, like Dave Chappelle is literally playing it safe. Like, nothing he's saying is him going against the grain. He's playing it safe, and that still angered a lot of other people. But it also made a lot of people very happy, and people were cheering him on in the audience and shouting "Free Palestine" as his comedy show went on.
Some people in attendance cheered and shouted "Free Palestine," while others yelled, "What about Hamas?" A couple of attendees say Dave also said "Free Palestine," but those in the crowd say they did not hear him say that. Later in his show, Chappelle said of the October 7th attacks and the Israeli government's Gaza siege that two wrongs don't make a right.
But here's the thing. All we got right now is firsthand accounts of people who were actually there, which is hundreds of people are on social media talking about this. Hundreds. But here's the thing. Dave Chappelle is filming this for a future special. So for these comedy shows that are being filmed for these specials, like, there's no filming allowed, no phones allowed, there's no devices allowed. Listen, bro, you can't even bring your tablet, bro. You can bring nothing inside of Dave Chappelle comedy show that's gonna record either the video or the audio. Not happening. So when Dave Chappelle was reached out for comment, well, his team just denied it. He said, "Hey, we weren't in Boston yesterday." But that's not true, because they were.
Reached for comment, a Chappelle spokeswoman said he denies being in Boston last night. Unfortunately, because Chappelle forces attendees of his show to lock up their phones and pouches, there is no recorded video or audio footage of this incident. According to reports, Chappelle's stance on Israel would cause several walkouts during this portion of the set. Twitter user Imran Munir would also post
Dave's playing it safe. He's already on the ADL bad side because of that Saturday Night Live monologue he did like last year, and the ADL put out a statement vehemently condemning Dave Chappelle. So he got to walk that fence, bro. You feel me? You can get away with the trans issues. You ain't getting away with going at the ADL, bro. Not happening, right? But it's silly that he's denying it because the Wall Street Journal has independently verified people who were there. Right, bro? Like, his Boston concert or comedy show seated 22,000 people. Right, so this wasn't no secret, bro. Like this was a well-known thing. There's flyers plastered everywhere. Dave Chappelle was in Boston last night.
An account of what happened that night. From a friend, something is changing in America. I saw Dave Chappelle last night at Boston. It was sold out, so I would say 22,000 people there. 3/4 into the show, he said, "I want to address what's going on in Palestine and Israel." He specifically said Palestine and said it before Israel. He said what happened on October 7th wasn't right, but also what's going on isn't right and not just. You can't kill innocent civilians like that, and the whole world sits silently and watches. Then someone shouted at him from the crowd, "Shut the F up, Dave." He then went nuts and yelled back, "No, you shut the F up. You don't take tens of billions from my country to go kill innocent women and children and come and tell me to shut the F up." He said, "Don't come begging for money from my country and then go drop bombs on children and cut off innocent people's water and electricity. You have the audacity to pay to come see me and then tell me shut the F up."
Base. Bro, Chappelle is base, man, but y'all let me know, man, what do you guys feel about Dave Chappelle comments? Did he say too much? Did he go too far? Or do you guys agree with his comments? And also, if you were him, would you take this stance with that much to lose? Let me know. And if you're still watching, man, click on this video somewhere on my screen to find out the huge drama pertaining the lead attorney. Click on this video here to find out what I'm talking about. I'm going to see you guys in this video, all right? Out of here, folks. Peace.